never once met a good man. My entire life, going on almost 32 years, okay? I've never met one genuinely good man. Every single man I have encountered has done something absolutely horrific and minimized it. Every single man that I've encountered is a liar, is a perv, and does not see women as humans. Every single man that I've ever encountered is so far up the patriarchy's booty butt. They genuinely think that it's okay for them to not grow past the mental age of 12. They genuinely think that having a job is all that they need to do. I have never met a good man. Not my father, I don't consider him a good man. My brothers, really not good men. My ex, baby daddy, not a good man. His dad, horrible man. His two brothers, one of them is half.
Now we get into the thick of it. I knew it. I knew it. Broken hearted, all of that stuff. Let me get to the end of this.
Decent, but still don't consider him good. His sister's husband, really shitty. All of my male family members, horrible people. All of my past male colleagues, all of my male instructors, professors, all of them are fucking horrible. Horrible. There is no such thing as a good man. And if you think you're a good man, please explain why. I'd love to hear it, because I guarantee you, probably 99.99% guarantee, your explanation is going to show that you are not a good man.
So basically, what she's doing is she's lashing out, right? And I'm tempted to run down my stats, but it's an exercise in futility because I'll never ever try to prove myself to people that are hurt and that are bitter and that actually really needs to go and get help, because it seems like it started with her father or whatever that is, and I'm just going to go ahead and base it off of what it is that she's saying. It seems like she probably started off with some sort of hurt and pain from her father and brothers, and then that extended over into her baby daddy. And the fact that she's a baby mama says it speaks volumes, because usually with these type of women, it's only really two types of situations. Either they've been indoctrinated by going to these feminist indoctrination camps called college, in which they not able to separate how they feel from what they've been taught socially, separately from their academics, and that is reflected in their life circumstances in which they're not able to get the job that they think that they want, or they've been hurt and they're a single baby mama. That's usually what it is. And in this instance, it might even be both, but we know for a fact that it's one. And so it's funny because she says she's never, ever, ever met a good man in her entire life. How does she even know that? Like the whole statement itself is all false, because that would mean that every single man that she's ever met, that she truly understands whether or not his life or the culmination of his life actually resulted in him being a good man, regardless of whatever it is that he's accomplished, right? She doesn't know whose life is or isn't that then you can judge to say whether or not they were a good man. She says she's never met a good man, because in these instances, especially when you're dealing with these extreme feminists, you got to be very careful with your words, and you want to make sure that you're using the proper context, because words mean things. And so if she's never met, not grew up with, not was raised by, not had sex and then had a child out of wedlock, or her baby daddy, not none of that stuff. She's never met a good man in her entire life. Well, I would have to say that something is genuinely wrong with her, because even though I know that most women inherently, based off of the stats and the current circumstances and the fact that a lot of women, more women than not, are baby mamas nowadays, no matter what their socioeconomic status is or demographics or race or, what age range that they're in. And I know that a lot of women, an overwhelming majority of them, file for divorce first. And when I see this rhetoric online and the indoctrination with feminism, and they advocate against updating family court laws, even though they now have more freedom than ever before, I don't say I've never met a good woman, because that is really a reflection of me. The people that I surround myself by or surround myself with is a reflection of who I am. And so I know for a fact that I have a phenomenal daughter and a phenomenal wife. And my mother is absolutely awesome. And all of the women that I work with is great. And the fact that I have a huge family, but none of them know divorce and single parent households probably helps speak to that. And I'm not hurt and I'm not bitter. And I've never, ever in my life, and maybe I'm one of the rare ones, I've never been hurt by a woman ever in my life. And I've been married for 21 years and I am successfully married, not just ships passing by. And, life is incredible. And I love God and all of the women that I've interacted with, for the most part, not all, they seem to be good spirited inside of the church that I grew up in. And, I love flying down and going to see my grandmother who's crossed barriers and done phenomenal things. And, my father was an incredible example, and I've never ever known him to do anything negative or hurt anybody. And he's always been there for people, and he made the ultimate sacrifice. And before he passed away, he was one of those type of people that would get up in the middle of the night just to go and dig somebody out of the snow, and they would call him because they knew that he would come. You know what I'm saying? And so when I see women like this, and I see great men all the time, I've met hundreds, if not thousands, of people in the streets, and I've met thousands of people at the Patreon meetups and the shows and stuff. And I've seen guys, younger guys that didn't have a father figure that reached out to me, and I've seen these guys grow to be some of the most phenomenal human beings and to be some of the biggest contributors into their communities and organizations and volunteering and doing great things and sacrificing their own well-being, their own finances, and making sure that they donate to worthy causes and allocating a majority of their resources. I allocate over 10% of everything that I make, and I give it back to the people in the streets and the homeless people. And y'all have seen me do it on my own platforms and stuff like that. And so I don't believe her. I don't believe that she believes what she's saying. I believe that she's speaking out of hurt and out of anger, and she's lashing out. And really, I feel sorry for her. I'm not even on no hate type stuff. I feel sorry for her because, to be a person that has become this bitter in life and is not actually being honest, and she would rather spew hate and nonsense and influence other women to go down this path of anger and feminism and then blame it on her baby daddy. And not one time in that entire soliloquy and that whole narrative that she made did she say, and you know what, I am the problem, or maybe it was my fault in this situation. Everything is everybody else's fault. And when you run into those people, you need to run away from those people, because the lack of accountability and responsibility for opening up your legs to a man that she then identified as not a good man is more of a reflection of your character than it is of the person that you laid down with. I have never not taken responsibility for my circumstance in life. I have never blamed somebody else for my lot in life. I've never, ever, ever seemed to be in a space to where I couldn't identify at least one good person, one good woman, one good man in the room, because those are not the rooms that I circulate in if they not good people in them. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just weird. It's incredibly weird to see these people. And when I look at her right now and I see the nose ring and I see the anger and the big forehead and all of that stuff, all of it screams feminist. I'm joking, but I'm not. Like it's a hateful spirit, and those type of people are walking around every single day. That's the worst part about it. Every day they walk around with a lack of accountability and blaming everybody for their problems. And usually in this instance, it's a single baby mama. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. T-Channeling, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. Don't end up like her, please. Please don't end up like her.